Women Affairs.
You see? 100%.
You don't know fight.
No, there's no way 70,000 will be enough for anybody without. That in a country of blind people, one-eyed man is a king. That is just it. Thank you very much.
That's a very
I think you have hit the nail on the head. Why?
Thank you so much, Mr. Bright, for your contribution this morning. Mr. Bright touched quite a lot of things, and the most important thing I think for me that I'm picking from what he talked about is the fact that are we not going to sack the petroleum minister? I think it's a very, because I did not see that they changed that.
What did I say earlier? Do you understand? What did I say earlier?
You say some people are not doing their work.
Exactly. I said that it should be a holistic approach. I also mentioned that there are several persons who are sitting now as we speak that are not doing what they are put in that position to do. What are they still doing there? They need to extend this handshake to them too.
I think this is more than.
But will President Buhari President Tinubu sack himself as Minister of Petroleum? Do you think that can be done?
Why should he even be a minister?
That's the thing now.
So it should. It's all. You see, this is one wrong. It's still wrong. Even though they feel okay, that is the major source of income for this nation. I don't trust anyone to be there. I should be there myself. We've seen it from the time of
President Buhari.
Exactly, former President Muhammadu Buhari, and that trend continues. And we've not seen any improvement, any good change in our petroleum sector. But maybe what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing, maybe very soon, we'll get to see the dividends of it. If not, up until now, it's been biting, it's been hardship, it's been negative effect we are seeing. So he might be thinking he is the one that is doing the changes. There's no way he will remove himself. And maybe until he has that change of mindset again, okay, this thing, actually people are crying. He has, initially or before now, we were thinking that the cries the cryings don't get to him. But now he knows. People that he listed the Senate with, that he was denied access to him, and he came out to talk. And then what happened? That is what we see in this country. If you are with them and you want to speak for the masses, you will be sidelined.
You'll be sidelined.
And that's why others, they don't talk while they are eating.
They don't talk. They won't chop belly food first before we.
And it's wrong. Selfishness, myself alone, my own
me, myself,
offspring.
and I. Let's take this comment from. Okay, let's take this comment so that we can discuss it. Good morning, Sahab and Krill. That is the right word to use based on the state we have found ourselves from those called our political leaders, mostly since the inception of APC, since 2015 to date as a party. We are truly squeezed like orange. Okay, you will not like this. We are truly squeezed like orange by the way current leaders are handling the affairs of our leaders as they are causing more eyes on masses. Honestly, Nigerians are only country I see people suffering and they will be smiling as if all is well without fighting government back as other neighboring countries do. I mean some African countries, but one thing I know for sure remains: every day is for the chiefs and one day is for the owner of the house. Nigerians have waited patiently as they are running out of patience now, which I am of the opinion that our political elites should rise up urgently and do the needful to avoid this time bomb that may explode soon. This is from Chief Onovo from Cuba. Kibia, you were going to say something?
I wanted to talk about the women of affairs.
Yes.
Women Affairs Minister.
Yeah, Uju. You can see so many allegations against her.
Yes.
I'm just reading about her. What people are thinking that okay, this is the main reason why. You remember when they said she was they called her for overspending.
Yeah.
Then they also called her for some of her allegations, some of the things she was saying that was not right. So you look at all these things and you see that the president actually have the right to do this, because in as much as your people are not working, in as much as you put them in that place to carry out. If you look at the past record of this man of affair, you see a lot that she has done. I did watch her before. I didn't know that she was going to be a minister. But as at that time I used to see her, she go to feed children. She has done a lot in the past. And funny enough, I was like, this woman wants to go into politics. But I did not know that she was actually truly going into politics. But the way she was doing, I knew that okay, she has an intention.
Yeah.
And your people are not working well according to what you want them, and you remove them. But the thing is, my fear is, who are you bringing in next? Is that person might, I know like I'm jumping into conclusion, but that person might still come and do the same thing.
Even worse.
Or even worse. Because there are no institution in place to actually check these people who you are bringing in. You just go look at their record and bring them in. People change. And that power investigates. So when they go in there, there's nothing to hold them accountable for what they are doing. Now, I was just reading one that the allegation against her when she was saying the first lady called her to do by Jen, and like look at all the whole excuses, because there's nobody holding these people accountable. Like, okay, if you do like this, there are certain things, charges you will face. Assuming those things are put in place, then you see that they will fear their job.
There are institutions to do that. It's just that it's a failure of the institutions. That is why you are saying nobody. There are some people. What should make this country go forward is if you are put in a position to work and you fail to do your work, because we are seeing a lot of lapses. It's not as if there are no people, no agency or no institution to handle that. But
Mr. J, it's opposition party they're actually looking at now. As long as you're not dealing with what they want, they bring you up, they dig your the
those
thing,
guys.
And some concocted
the things
stuff.
that you did in the past that is not good, they will dig it because you are not in line with them. So don't just say they are institutions, but this institution are actually now looking at opposition
all
parties.
what you are saying point towards corruption.
Yes.
Don't you have anti-graft agencies?
Are you depending on them?
ICPC is there, EFCC is there.
ICPC power is limited. EFCC now is based on opposition. If you look at all the people that they have been going after, if they are not going according to how the government is, or if it's in another party, PDP or this, or that's the people they are actually going after. Have you ever look at? Okay, let me cite the example of the. I will continue to use that example. The former governor of Kogi, his case has been silent. And you're telling me those institutions are there, but they are not doing their job. Now they are going after the opposition parties.
Yeah.
So still talking about the Ministry of Women Affairs, on social media you're seeing that there's jubilation.
Because of what she did.
No, she didn't actually do well. She didn't perform well.
So, but again, some other people are saying that maybe the reason why people are rejoicing
dancing. It's not. Do you understand? It was really. Did you see that video? It was really the old office that came out to dance. Do you know what that
There is
is?
one allegation they said she advocated for child labor when she said she faced backlash on her comment on Anambra Investment Summit 2023 when she said school children should be used as workers to manufacture essential things such as toothpick, sanitary pad, cotton bud.
Imagine.
School children.
Just imagine.
So why would they not dance? They should
education.
manufacture sanitary pads, matches box, cotton bud. Like how do you carry those things are meant for manufacturing?
it's just like the same thing as the president saying that core members can also go and fight Boko Haram. They should be equipped. Youth.
And you have military, air, water, and land.
I have no comment.
Okay.
I have no comment on that. But I mean, hopefully the newly appointed ministers
will
deliver
job.
their job, and of course, let's pray and hope that they actually are not found wanting in any corruption cases.
Yeah, and this is a step in the right direction. I think that the president needs to do it more often.
Yeah.
Right.
I also think he needs to remove himself as the Minister of Petroleum.
That will not happen.
It's not going to happen, sir.
Let me ask you something, Sadat. If you are the president and you are the Minister of Petroleum,
I will not be.
Will you remove yourself?
I will not be in the first place because I cannot hold myself accountable. There's some things that you will know that you're already a president. Do you know the amount of load you have on your head? Do you know how stressful it is to manage to manage that ministry of petroleum resources alone? You now want to merge the two portfolio, and then Nigeria is one different country on its own. Now proper, it's Bollywood that there used to be plenty in the movie. It's proper Bollywood series, like Indian movie series, proper one. That's what Nigeria is. You want to combine that stress with petroleum.
Yeah.
You won't hold yourself accountable.
So still talking about that, part of the reasons why we elect leaders or we put leaders in positions and they are not able to deliver is that, from the beginning, you didn't even do background check on how grounded they are in the sector that you're telling them to go and serve.
Better Edu, they did, the background check was done. Shehu Adeosun, do you guys remember Shehu Adeosun? Shehu Adeosun served under former President Muhammadu Buhari. Do you guys remember Shehu Adeosun? She was caught in the certificate saga of NYC certificate. She trended at the time. Do you remember her? Shehu Adeosun was amazing, right? The portfolio, if you check the portfolio, you'll be like, oh, beautiful, this is what we need. But did she perform?
No.
So these are cases that it's not as if they did not do the background check.
They did.
They will bring somebody. The CV will be full. You'll be seeing
when you now get there, power will intoxicate you, and you decide that
all the first class universities,
else.
you see certificates, you see go. But at the end of the day, do they perform? Is it like a Nigerian thing that when you're exceeding well in the private sector and then you come to the you don't prefer? Is there something wrong?
It still falls back to what we're talking about accountability. Do my job. If I don't deliver, if I don't produce, I'm going to step down. It's going to encourage you to want to do more.
The thing here is, a lot of things have gone wrong. And for the fact that all is not well yet, shouldn't stop us from appreciating the little step we are taking towards making it better. Hopefully, he will remember, the president will also know that being a president, I shouldn't be the Minister of Petroleum. To relinquish that sector to a capable hand. Maybe if that is done, he would have relieved himself of a lot of
stress, mental capacity, mental work.
Exactly. And then concentrate fully on managing Nigeria and allow that to just to go there until we get to that. Gradually, I just hope, I believe in Nigeria, just like Saadat here. I believe in Nigeria.
Sadat is always hopeful.
And yes, I'm a very hopeful Nigerian.
All we have to do on our own is to keep talking. Where we see flaws, we'll talk about it. Where we see good, we'll praise it. We praise it, so that hopefully our voices will be heard.
That's why they keep coming out to tell you to be patient.
Not being patient. As they are telling us to be patient, they on their own part should be doing their job very well. They should be doing that. We are telling them, they are telling us, we have been patient. Have we not been patient?
We have.
Have we not listened to them? We have listened to them and we remain patient.
Yeah.
So they also should listen to us and take our words to do their jobs very well.
Yes.
They should know that they are there not just for themselves and their family members alone. Because all these things they are doing is to amass this wealth and wealth for their family members, not for Nigeria. That's why we are angry. That's why we are talking. Nigeria is for Nigerians. And God has so blessed this country in such a way that every citizen should smile. So it's not just all about them. It still goes to the same way. It goes back to what I preached. It should just look at gradually. It can't be done. Because, for instance, he thinks that this thing can be done just in a day. He took over and during his inauguration, what he has in his mind, not part of his inauguration speech, he said subsidy is gone. And subsidy is gone. And we have remained patient. He should make such pronouncements on other things. He should pronounce insecurity gone and work to see that insecurity is gone. He should pronounce corruption is gone and work assiduously to see that corruption is gone. He should pronounce that good things, wealth, health, education, everything has come to stay, and he should work towards making sure that yes, those good things have come to stay.
That's another angle. I don't have the words, but let's just keep our fingers crossed and look forward to these new ministers and let's see what they're going to do. And of course, the president just came back from a break, and let's see how calm he's been, and let's see the things we're going to see in the coming weeks. Let's just give the government some time and let's see how things are going to pan out. Now, FAND disburses over 10 billion naira student loan. The story is from The Punch, and it reads the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, has made significant progress since its launch in August 2024. As of Wednesday, the fund has disbursed over 10 billion naira to successful applicants, with over 350,000 applications received so far. This milestone was announced by NELFund's Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Akintunde Sawyer during a meeting with the House of Representatives Committee on Student Loans, Scholarships and Higher Education Financing. Sawyer emphasized that the fund aims to provide equal access to education for all Nigerians, regardless of location or background. tuition fees and stipends, with applications coming in at an average of over 1,000 per day. In addition to its inclusive approach, that fund is also making special provisions for students living with disabilities and addressing barriers to girl child education. Sawyer highlighted the importance of investing in education, citing that 70% of Nigeria's population is under the age of 5. He described the Student Loan Initiative as a unique palliative with a long term to the challenges facing access to education in Nigeria. The chairman of the committee, Boyega Iseka, praised NELFund as a critical agency that will create a future where every Nigerian youth can realize their potential. He urged the management of the fund to be proactive and plan for the next 3 to 5 years, identifying key issues to address to ensure the fund's success. With NELFund's commitment to inclusive and accessible education, Nigeria is taking a significant step towards investing in its future generation. Guys, KB, was it not 2 weeks ago that we read that it was said that it was 5 billion that was disbursed? Now
we need to check their record again, because
now
looking
it's
at it,
10 billion naira that has been disbursed
and
so far.
the last time it was recorded, I think it was 2022. We saw the last time it was recorded, and now they are still coming out to say, Do you know last week? No, I think earlier this Monday, the United States President Biden released students of loans,
Right?
pay their debts, not loans, pay their debts. For those, most especially those students that their parents are civil servants, paid all their debts. Students, most especially. And Nigeria here were giving out loan. How do you expect them to pay? I keep asking that question in my head.
I was coming
How do
there.
you expect them to pay when we don't even have jobs in Nigeria?
Do you understand?
And the entrepreneurship that you're talking about, the environment is getting worse for them. So how do you expect these students to pay? And looking at the present economy of Nigeria, the money you are giving the students, because I heard last time I read it was 20,000 for their upkeep. What is 20,000 now in Nigeria? 20,000 when you carry is later in the full market.
Monthly.
Yes, but
Aside-
they will buy textbooks. Textbooks. They will pay for some certain things. What do you expect? Like, my major concern is how will they pay this bill?
Exactly.
Like, how will they pay? Because if you look at the whole situation, it's like they keep increasing the money for that side. Looking at the fact that these people had free education, but at the end of the day, they are making us to take loans, debt for education that's supposed to be free. Primary schools now and secondary schools, the education are very expensive. You see students on the streets, like there's this particular boy I keep seeing around my side selling granules when he's supposed to be in school. He's selling granules to meet up with his family, to give that money now back to the family, and you're bringing up loans. It might be now. I like one word they said here, palliative, because that's the only thing that is working in Nigeria. Palliative. Everything now is palliative to Nigeria. And how long will you keep doing palliative? How long will you keep giving us a short-term solutions to our problem? Education should not be something that you're supposed to give out on loan. Like, I'm still surprised. I don't know the word. Because my main concern, I'll keep saying it, is how do you expect them to pay back?
So student free loans can work in any other country aside Nigeria. And when the first time I heard about this, I'm like, this is not going to work. Because you're saying that the students would have to pay back 2 years after NYSC, right?
When there's no job.
When there's no job. And the average salary, the minimum wage now, should be 70,000 naira, right? So when do you even want, you have not eaten, you have not paid your house
Transport.
rent. It's not achievable.
Even the health of the person too.
Exactly. It's not achievable. So this entire, I think that the Nigerian government needs to invest. It's about priorities, basically. They need to invest this money in maybe even free education. I'm telling you, for the federal universities, the federal tertiary institutions, and also to equip, the schools, the universities. We were saying something the other day about how the education system in Nigeria is deteriorating. Yeah. And we talked about how, how you go to universities and maybe you visit departments like med lab or medicine and surgery department, and you go to their labs and there's nothing to write home about, and you're asking yourself, so what are these people learning? You go to a department like mass communication and you're seeing over 800 students in one hall. They can't even hear what the lecturer is saying. There are a lot of things to invest properly in. So it makes that you give somebody half-baked education for say 4 to 5 years, and then the person comes out after NYS, they have to pay back money. Where do they want to see the money?
So now it's said that, I saw a video with the NEL Fund chairman when they launched it, and they said that as a fresh graduate, you can approach BOI for funding. BOI can support your business, and of course, they are working on making sure people don't stay beyond the required age they're supposed to stay for, and also looking at the fact that they want to weed out ghost workers. There are a couple of people that have JAPA, but they're still collecting salaries from the federal government, and their spaces are still occupied. So they are looking at how they can get rid of all those things and then have more spaces. And of course, they talked about creating more jobs. We read the story where President Tinubu talked about the fact that he's working and planning to create more jobs.
Since when?
I'm just talking about what they said.
No, because we keep hearing we're going to do this, we're going to do this. See, saying that you would do something is not doing something. Can we see that there are efforts being made to create these jobs? Okay, out of the 1 million jobs you want to create, can we even see 2, so that we'll have hope that, okay, since the president has made effort to create 2, there's possibility that he's going to create 4 or 10.
This whole thing,
It's a Ghana person.
when the student when the student loan scheme came up, I was indifferent, because sincerely there are some people who genuinely want to acquire education and they could not afford it. If that, yes, if there is a loan scheme, it will help such persons. But in actual sense, is this loan? Go and check, and if care is not taken, you will discover that the people who have received this loan are still children of those people whom their parents can afford
to pay their tuition fees. Exactly.
Yeah, Zada checked this thing, and we saw that the comments from Twitter is not even all. That money is not even getting to all.
Hold on. That is just one aspect. That is where we've reached. Secondly, you also ask a question. If you really want to reach out to this student who can't afford to cater for their education, there are so many options. One of the options is subsidize this education. Or secondly, she has said it. Even this education that costs so much to acquire, how good are the facilities therein? Very poor. And then when you now say, okay, the reason why government did not even think of subsidizing education again, or because if it's subsidized, the fee will become affordable for everyone, and in that way, the fund, I think everyone will benefit from that fund. But then we think again, if we want to subsidize this education, will this money, because we are talking of fuel subsidy, the only one that every Nigerian benefit from is being taken up, will, because of people, a little group of people are benefiting from this fuel subsidy, from this money. If you want to subsidize this education, will the money, will it be truly actualized because of the agents again? Maybe you want to subsidize education, and will the money not end up in some few individuals' pocket or bank account, and then the aim won't be achieved? You ask that question again, and you keep. Then you go to on to the next step. If we want to subsidize these educations so that this education will be affordable, and some people are standing in the way by way of embezzling this money. There are agencies that will fight these people. We have policies that this agency should fight someone like this. How good is that agency? You ask yourself that question again. Question upon question, how well will I do it that Nigerians will benefit? How well should we do that the best will come out? It's a question that is still
very valid question. Hello, good morning.
No.
Good morning. Okay. Your name, please. Your name, please.
Morning.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That, okay, now, sorry, I think I get your point now. That is part of the problems we are having. He's in final year. He has already paid his school fees. Why applying for this student loan again? Why not leave leave that fund to those who cannot afford it, who are still in need? He doesn't need this loan again in natural sense. You see?
Whoa.
You see what you are talking about? We should be very clear in whatever we want to do. Government, if government, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yeah, see, this is part of the problems we are having. Government will roll out some policies sounding very juicy. People that don't really need it. That's why I say, if you look at this loan disbursement, you will find out that some people who have already who have gotten this loan might not really be people who need it. And this scholar has justified me already. You are in final year, you've paid your school fees, you've paid everything, and now you applied for it. And secondly, on the part of the NEL fund, the body that is saddled with this disbursement, they should also do their own
Background
survey.
check.
Yeah, they should do background checks towards making sure that yes, this person who needs it really needs it, not just because this money is there, you can access it and you just apply.
That's another way to look at it. That's basically the same thing that Kerry mentioned. Most times when these policies are rolled out, the persons who need it don't even get
They
access.
don't get access to it.
Because maybe they don't even have the information. Because their situation has not even allowed them to maybe read news or maybe have data to go online or maybe even watch TV.
Or have time to listen to
Or have time to listen. So it means that a person, that's what is giving, a person who is already maybe 300 level, 400 level, going to final, the leverage to say, okay, let me apply for it. Was thinking that the money will be paid to their own account. That's also another way to look at it.
Maybe the money is going to come into
Exactly.
their own
Maybe they thought the money will come into their own account so that they will use it and they'll chill and all of that. But it doesn't work that way. So it also makes that when some of these policies, are created or are established, a lot of sensitization needs to also be in place.
Yeah.
They need to invest in sensitizations. You go to these rural areas, you go to maybe the chiefs, the community leaders, you do campaigns so that the people who need these things, who need these opportunities, will have access to information that will now help them to act.
Yeah.
And then when they come, you also prioritize them.
That is it.
Because in all of these things, we've not started talking about, people with disabilities also, who are also students who need to partake in this policy. So just about a lot of things needs to be done if this is going to be effective, because it will also be will also come to a situation where this billion that was just disbursed, for this now will be used for the wrong reasons, and it will not get to the necessary people, that needs it.
That's why at the time I come to believe that some things are just by pronouncement. You see them rolling out rosy policies, and at the end of the day, you don't get to see them being executed.
Mr. J, do you know that the budget for education is 1.54 trillion naira?
Imagine, education has that budget.
Yeah.
And then still school fees is on the high that indigent students cannot even afford.
And education in Nigeria is very poor with this huge amount.
With this huge amount, what is it being used for? No monitoring agency, no checks and balance, no stewardship by ministers. I could remember the good governance third time then that this money that is being given to this government, even though on the other school of thought, others thought that it's just they just voted money to just come and see. Let's just use this money and then close your eyes towards whatever is happening in my city. But then when they come, we saw the things on TV, projects that are being commissioned at the state level. This money, all the money that has been given to you, this is what I use my own for. This is what I use. We saw it and we believe. But now it's figures we are hearing. We don't get to see what these monies are being used for. I won't be surprised if at the end of the day we have started seeing it. And I am sure that at the end of the day this money will not get to those people who actually needs this money. That is the fear, and it's until every institution starts working, not just one, all. If a monitoring institution monitors and discovers, this is what I have seen, and they then forward this to the next authority who should take action, that institution also should take action so that Nigeria will be rebuilt.
It is quite disheartening to think about a couple of things happening in Nigeria at the moment, and we can't just but hope that things get better. I mean, if we keep dwelling on these things, we'll just keep Mr. J will just keep having breathing and breathing. I think you should grab some water and just drink so that you can calm yourself down. The development of brain surgery in Nigeria, non-negotiable for national development, experts. The story is from Tribune and it reads, Professor Edward Komolafe, a renowned neurosurgeon at Obafemi Awolowo University, emphasized the crucial need for advanced brain surgery in Nigeria to bridge the gap in neurosurgical care and drive national development. Speaking at the 2024 Nigerian Academy of Neurological Sciences Conference in Ibadan, Komolafe noted that Nigeria lags behind in neurological care with fewer than 200 neurologists and only 4 neurological beds per million people. This disparity is largely due to poor funding, inadequate healthcare planning, and a brain drain. Komolafe stressed that bridging the gap between Nigeria and advanced nations in neurosurgery requires resolute leadership, corruption eradication, improved private sector-driven healthcare, subspecialty training, and institutional collaborations. He encouraged the private sector's effort and advocated for increased government investment in infrastructure and manpower development. The conference honored Professor Matthew Temitayo Shokunbi and Adefolarin Obanishola Malomo, pioneers in Nigerian neurosurgery, with a book titled Gorgeous Hues of Chewing Bright Colors. Professor Babatunde Salako praised their legacy, which includes developing a strong neurosurgery residency program that has produced over 160 neurosurgeons. To address the challenges, key areas of focus should include subspecialty training capacity, online research databases, and international collaborations. with support from Chief Medical Director of the University College Hospital, Professor Otegbayo, and Commissioner for Health, Dr. Oluwaseremi Ajetimobi. Nigeria's neurosurgical practice is poised for growth and improvement. Two things here: brain drain and lack of funding is why Nigeria is lagging behind in the neurological care sector, and that is to lack. Did you say lack of funding, or well, lack of funding is right. He also kind of talked about something that may be pointing towards corruption. So it's still talking about proper funding for the educational sector and the rejigging of the educational sector. By brain drain, what exactly do you think he's talking about?
So when we're looking at brain drain, we're looking at, moving to another country. So I think it was during COVID that we realized how
bad it was.
Our medical practitioners have left us to survive on our own. And if you look at it, you can't blame them. Is the environment conducive enough for them to practice? That's a question
Very valid
to
question.
ask. And we're looking at Premium Times here, and it's saying that between 2008 and 2021, 36,467 Nigerian doctors have migrated to the United Kingdom and counting. Counting.
Because
You might want to check the specialists that also traveled to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia came to Nigeria at some point. I think that was like 2 years ago, and I think they had it in transport here. And
that was the one we see physically.
Yes,
the physical one done.
They came for specialists, not anyhow people.
Yeah.
Specialists like Oga, bosses.
And we have them.
What of Canada? People didn't even mention, because people are going to Canada because those ones did not come physically, or it's not just one specific. The UK you talk about is just one side. Canada, all experts, all, not just one area alone. Yeah.
So you want to look at
going to migrating, and why? Sorry, still on this brain drain, whatever. Why won't it continue when today you hear of resident doctors going on
striking, insecurity? Touch it all, because sometimes you hear that a doctor was kidnapped, so doctors will now decide, what, we are going for a strike until our person is safe.
See, I've not heard from that woman that was kidnapped.
The case has been silenced because now, do you know what they told them? No work, no pay.
Yes.
So if you don't go to work, they won't pay you. So how would
that
they?
man has been in the kidnappers there. Now it will be over a year, because at the time we took the story it was 10 months, and it's been 2 months after. We took the story in August.
So what are we saying? So we're looking at the payment structure. Our health practitioners, right? Our doctors, our nurses, our health workers, are they paid well? You come to facilities, did they have the necessary things to do their jobs diligently? Because you see, the thing about working in the health sector is also that you're growing every day, right? You're improving yourself, you're learning new things, all right? Do they have, that environment to achieve all of that? Because you need to keep, as an individual, you need to keep improving yourself. You need to keep becoming better. And you know how it is that this particular sector is one of the most crucial sectors as far as mankind is concerned. Let us even remove, the country.
Yes.
This we're talking about lives of people. So you see that these doctors who in Nigeria can't even, do their jobs effectively, when they go abroad, you see that
they are treated like
kings. You see, a Nigerian doctor has done the first surgery, has completed this surgery, it has not been done before. These are people that imagine that they were equipped properly. Yeah, we won't be complaining. We're talking about brain surgery. That's a lot. We have not talked about malaria.
And that has, in return...
No, but on malaria, I think that they said there's a vaccine for malaria, anti-malaria vaccine that just came in, and some people have started getting those vaccines.
Yeah, so I'm just even saying that if we don't even have like doctors and nurses that will cater to malaria patients,
Exactly.
how much more brain surgery?
No, not for malaria, you can actually treat yourself. So that one is not seriously.
Don't advise people to treat themselves. So malaria is a lot.
You don't understand what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to I'm backing up what you're saying.
Okay.
That is as bad as people just like resort to self-medication because if you want to go to the hospital, you will queue long hours because there are like 500 patients to one doctor. By the time the doctor gets to you, he's already getting snappy. He's already sulking because he's tired, he's hungry.
I'm sorry, it was a few days ago. Let me also point this out that it was a sister of mine that we're just talking about delivery process, midwifery and all of that. And she was mentioning that her friend at the hospital that she delivers, it's a public hospital, that because a lot of over 100 women want to deliver.
Exactly.
Do you understand? They don't even focus on a particular woman who is trying to deliver, because you have to do fast and go so that another person will come.
Yes.
Is that even how we're supposed to live? And she also mentioned that in that kind of situation you can risk switching your child too.
Exactly.
So these are things that we're facing, and if you have the opportunity to travel abroad, you will go
Where things are fine.
where things are done properly, where you are paid well, right? You're paid well, you have the necessary equipment to deliver your job effectively, right? You're definitely going to go. So if the government is looking at this, they need to start tackling the problem from the root. How much is a nurse paid monthly?
The staff referencing is quite poor.
How much?
Compared to.
So what are we saying?
Yeah.
Plus, you talked about how many patients that are, that a doctor has to attend to.
Exactly.
And you look at it, before the day, is over, it just,
For menstrual pain.
because you have a lot of other people on the queue.
Due to that, she was having menstrual pain, and they gave, I think, is it chest medicine that had to
Just
do with
imagine.
chest, and she died at that spot because I think the thing was too strong for her. It was even injection. It was too strong for her, and she died at that spot. So you see, that's how the health poor.
And that is all. She just died, and that's all.
That's
I lost
all.
a friend. I lost a friend earlier this year because she had chest issues, like an infection in her chest, and they kept treating her for typhoid. And you know what typhoid drug does? It tries to like rid you of some cells, some blood cells, and she died. She was in ICU for like 4 days, and then before the lamb discovered that it was chest problem that she had, like it was chest infection that she had, and they kept giving her typhoid treatment. The kind of strong antibiotics that you have to take for typhoid, for something that is meant to, for like a milder antibiotics that is meant to go for the chest, but they are giving you strong antibiotics for typhoid. And it was like 2 days before she died, they now discovered that it was chest infection that she had, and they were trying to treat her, but it was already too late. And now, two days in, when they started, they said her body had shut down, and her body was finding it hard to, rebuild the blood cells needed to fight the chest infection, and the girl died. Pelumi was 26 years old. She died just a week after her birthday.
So you see that the health sector is not even a sector that the government should trivialize, because it's delicate. We're looking at something as bad as when national grid falls. You see that it affects a lot of government hospitals. You'll hear that a baby who was on oxygen has gone just like that because of the incompetence of somebody somewhere. And you see how it's affected. But if
a doctor where they're using torchlight to take delivery.
What are you saying? So which one do you want to talk about? Which one do you want to leave out?
Well, why we blame government? Yeah, government has a very big role to play in that aspect, because it's solely government responsibility. We talk of doctors not being taken care of and facilities not being there, and every year we get to hear the huge amount that is being budgeted for health care, for health. And on the other side of all it is, while I'm not against entrepreneurship, you also discover that most of these doctors in government hospital, they prefer giving as a proper treatment in their own private hospitals.
A lot of them have.
They prefer that to doing it in the government hospital.
Oh.
And you imagine you being in a consultation room with a doctor and he will be referring you to a private hospital. That is also where the doctors on their own are not helping the entire sector.
I remember
It's everyone's business.
It's a problem.
It's everyone, all of us, we just have to be sincere
With
and
ourselves.
with ourselves. Government on her own should just make sure that these people who are dealing with human life are being taken care of properly. And then they on their own should know that while it's good to make money, government is at least on her own paying them well. They should be mindful of how to handle people's lives again. I'm not trying to undermine them. They are really trying and they're doing their own and it's good. But that other one should be what they do at their spare time. You imagine that, well, I just started by saying if you are working, you need rest. These people will devote, maybe when they are off, they devote the whole time to their personal hospital. And then when they use the government hospital now as their resting period.
Mr. J, you talked of the budget, not the money allocated is not enough. Please.
It's enough. I say huge money. It's
1.3 trillion naira is actually allocated to health sector.
You see?
1.3 trillion.
And they cannot buy generator.
And they can't buy generator.
No, so now
it's
about following up now, monitoring and evaluation.
That is why I say
that money has been released. Who's monitoring?
Who is monitoring
the progress and what the money is being used for? Who's following the process? You know, it's not just about saying another thing is, you know, they can budget 1.3 trillion. What's the cash backing for the budgets? Like, okay, so 1.3 trillion was budgeted. How much was released? You know, sometimes they will say, okay, this is the budget we are working for. But this is what we have the cash backing for, right? It happens like that in Nigeria. When they say, okay, you are budgeting 1.3 million, let's just say, but the cash backing we have right now is 300,000 naira. So take it first, and then we'll see Nigeria is broke, Nigeria is bankrupt. We'll see how we can, you know, raise the other funds. So it's another thing we have to actually do.
You see that we have seen another person now that they need to discharge of their duties.
Yeah, I mean,
what are we saying?
What are we saying? They are still reshuffling, so it's going to work. It's going to get there.
It's a continuous thing. It shouldn't be a timely thing. It should be continuous. Once you are not
doing your job this is just the first batch of the restructuring that it's doing, right? I remember I wanted to say that when I wanted to do my surgery, and I went to the government hospital in my state, and then let's take this call before this will be our final question today. Hello, good morning. You're on to Branch Republic on Branch FM. Good morning. Hi, Mr. John. Good morning. Very well, thank you. Mr. J.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning. I don't kill myself for those ones, you understand, right? But yeah. I'm from Kogi State.
Away.
Yes.
He took it home.
Oh my. Okay. My brother. Everything.
Everybody's corrupt.
Everything. Very correct. The Senate President. Continue. He's been rewarded. He's been rewarded. You understand? Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Hey, language.
It's true. Everybody, both of you keep it quiet. Yeah. Hmm. Now again, I get your point. Hmm. It's true.
This is the long thing, like.
They don't feel like.
Mr. John, let's round up, please.
Hmm. It's true. It's true. And how would that one come? Mm. It's true. Mm. Mm. That is the thing. Many youth.
Mr. John, let's take your submission, please.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Businesses, others doing their businesses will also, in short, it's a very big. Mm. It's true. Thank you very much.
I mean, thank you so much, Mr. John. Let's take our submission firstly. Let's start from Kubia.
Well, with all what I've said and what all is happening in Nigeria, the only thing I can say is that just keep having faith and believing that even as much as the whole situation is good, we believe that one day it will get better.
Right.
So leadership is a major factor if we're going to have any kind of restructuring or if we're going to make any form of progress. Leadership across board, from the local government down to the president.
Yeah.
Right? And this is something that we need to begin to work on properly.
Thank you, Mr. J.
Institutions must work for Nigeria to go forward. And if you are being put in any position on your, and you can't do...
Please resign, step down.
Resign.
Nothing will happen.
And
In
if
fact,
you don't
Nigerians will
resign-
applaud you for it because nobody has done it before, right?
And if you don't resign, you should be sacked. That is it.
Thank you so much. As we draw the curtains on today's edition of Bright Republic, I want to thank you for being part of the conversation. Coming up shortly is a View of Sport, who will take you round the world of sport with all the latest updates on your favorite teams, athletes, and more. So stay tuned. In these trying times, remember that challenges are only temporary. Nigerians are known for their resilience. And no matter how tough things get, we have the strength and spirit to rise above it all. Let's continue to support each other and stay hopeful for better days. I am Sadat Bibiwe, wishing you strength, positivity, and perseverance. Until next time, stay strong and stay informed.
Yes, since 3 days ago.
I just opened Sponge to do research.